that you need. Here's the first question. Do you sell something that Amazon doesn't, won't, or can't sell? Do you sell something that Amazon doesn't sell? If you do, you're okay for now. You're okay for now. And what Amazon has a problem selling right now is luxury. Any luxury retailers in the audience? A few hands going up. So you're okay for now, because Amazon has a problem selling luxury because it has a lot of products on its site that are fake, and it can't seem to get rid of them fast enough to make luxury brands want to come online and sell with Amazon, as much as Amazon would love to sell luxury products. So if you sell something that Amazon doesn't sell, for whatever reason, whether it's luxury or something else, you're okay for now. That doesn't mean you're out of jail, but it just means you're okay for now. Here's the second question you should ask. If your answer to the first question was no, okay, which most of you are probably saying no, we sell, whatever we sell is available on Amazon, then here's the second question you need to ask yourself. Do you sell what you sell in a way that Amazon can't? Right? Do you sell what you sell in a way that is unique or it's remarkable enough that Amazon cannot or won't sell it that way? That is Amazon's Achilles heel. That is the one way, and really the one way only, that you can truly fight back against Amazon. Because, look, Jeff Bezos is a genius, okay? I admit it. He's a genius beyond anyone's imagination. His team is awesome. But when you get right down to it, Amazon isn't fun. It's not fun. It's not fun to shop on Amazon. It's not interesting. People don't get together and have wine and cheese parties and shop together on Amazon. It's just not that kind of thing. Amazon is an incredibly efficient way to buy what you already know you need. It's an incredibly efficient way. When you know what you want, you sit down at Amazon and in 2 keystrokes, boom, you've ordered it and it's on its way. But it's not a lot of fun, and it's not a great way to discover products. So let's take a look at what we could do to fight back against that. First of all, we need to stop building what we call stores. If your store looks like that, you are basically going to get eaten by Amazon for breakfast, if that's what your store looks like. Right? There's just nothing about that store that differentiates it, nothing that makes it look interesting, or nothing that makes it look like a wonderful place for discovery. So stop building stores and start building stories. Think of your physical spaces as stories that consumers are walking into, and they're actually becoming part of the story. This is a retailer in Germany called Globetrotter Outdoor. You can go into that store, you can paddle a canoe, you can scuba dive, you can wear Arctic clothing in a cold weather chamber, you can put on wet weather clothing and get blasted by water, if that's what you want to do. You can climb, you can try everything in the store. Every inch of the store is an experience. So when I was writing this last book, I wanted to try and understand, what is it that truly successful retailers are doing in their stores and online that not so successful retailers aren't? Who are the brands that are standing up to Amazon, and what is it that they do that makes them so good? Well, here's what I found. I found there are 5 common elements, and here they are. The first thing is, great retailers engage consumers in a more complete way. They engage consumers on multiple sensory levels. And they can do this offline in their stores, but they also do it online. This is a retailer called Recreational Equipment Inc., REI for short. When you go to their website, it's actually fantastic. You will see that they have great photography of their products. They often have video that plays that you can actually see how the product is used. Awesome descriptions of their products and great reviews. The site has lots and lots of content, and the content is very deep. It's very expert content. So if you're selling online right now, really ask yourself, could we make our photography better? Could we have 360-degree spin photography? Should we have more video reviews? Can we get consumers more engaged in reviewing our products? All of those things are going to be critically important. And another retailer to take a look at is Sephora. Sephora is doing a phenomenal job in standing up to Amazon. And there's nothing that you can buy at a Sephora store that you can't buy on Amazon. But they're doing a fantastic job. They've created a great mobile app that you can shop on when you're not in the store, but as soon as you walk into the store, it changes its capabilities. And it gives you tools that you can use in the store to look up products and to look up reviews. They do a wonderful job of creating physical theater in their stores by giving makeovers and demonstrations. And they have awesome technology in their stores as well, what they call teach, inspire, and play technology, to allow consumers to learn and be inspired. So that's the kind of in-store experience that you want to create. Another retailer, Nordstrom department store, has tried something completely different now in their Los Angeles locations. They've created a store called Nordstrom Local. It's a 3,000 square foot store. There's no merchandise in it. What they have is they have a cafe, they have a bar, they have these extraordinary fitting rooms, tailors on site, stylists there to help you out. They have a nail spa, and they also have on-demand services. So if you want something sent to the store for you to try on, you can have that sent in. And they'll be happy to serve you with a stylist and a tailor to make sure that it fits. So they're focusing on the experience instead of focusing on the product. The second thing that great brands do is they create unique experiences. Unique experiences. And they do this by examining the script in their category. Now, what I mean by the script in their category is this. A few weeks ago, I was getting ready to go to an event, and I needed to buy new shoes. So I went to a shopping center, and there were 6 shoe stores that I went into, each of the 6. In every single store, the experience was identical. Exactly the same experience. And it wasn't that great, to be honest with you, but it was identical in every single store. That's the script in the industry on how you sell shoes, and everybody follows the same script. So what great brands do is they look at the script in the category, and then what they do is they change it. They actually go about mechanically changing the script. Once you change the script, things can get very interesting. So this is a retailer called Sonos. Sonos sells wireless speakers. They just recently opened up their own store in New York, and instead of, just putting their product on shelves like they normally would, they created these amazing 150 square foot listening pods. These places that you can go into, bring your own music, bring your friends, hang out, listen, and have a great listening experience. The future of retail is going to be a lot less about inventory, and it's going to be a lot more about inspiration. The way Lowe's Home Improvement, for example, is using virtual reality in its stores to actually assist customers in putting together their kitchen and bath projects. Notoriously difficult projects, but they're making it easier with the use of technology. The third thing that great brands do is they always personalize every interaction in some way. Amazon is not going to do that, but great brands make a point of it. Whether it's getting great data down to the store level about a customer's preferences and their needs and making sure that you're tailoring recommendations, whether it's using tools to, as Sephora does, determine what someone's complexion is like or their skin tone so you can recommend the right products, or like the North Face is doing, The North Face actually uses artificial intelligence in its stores to guide recommendations for customers that make sense. So personalization is key. This was an installation that Adidas did recently, where you could go into the store, created a brand new store, you can have your body scanned. Once your body's scanned, you can sit down, pick your fabric that you're going to create your garment from with the help of an expert. You create your garment in the store. It's actually manufactured for you on site while you wait. It's printed off, you take it to the cash register, and off you go. But now the consumer is actually engaged in the process. They're not just going to the store to take something, they're going to the store to make something. The fourth element, surprise. Great retailers always surprise the guest in some way. It can be a small gift with purchase. It can be another value-added service that the customer didn't think that they were going to get. It could be faster shipping than they expected. Anything to create an element of surprise. Here's a retailer that I found surprising, and it's an interesting story too. This is a company called Saba. Has anyone heard of Saba? Saba shoes? A few of you have, right? So it actually started with an idea that started here. Mickey Ashmore was a Microsoft employee who was actually stationed in Istanbul, and he found these beautiful shoes that were made in Istanbul. And he connected with the family that made them. And when he went back to the United States, he decided to import some of them to the United States with the help of this family. And he actually started selling these shoes in his townhome in New York. He was selling them in his house and having people come into his house. And he found that it was such an incredible experience and people enjoyed it so much that he began opening other stores around the United States that resembled his house. Right? He was basically recreating his townhome in back alleys in the United States in these really, really small little spaces. So here's a retailer that has introduced an element of surprise into what he does. Amazon is not going to do this. Now, when you talk to Mickey, he says that his business is actually community more than it is a retail company. It's 50% retail, 50% community and hospitality. So creativity, the ability to build in that element of surprise is going to be critical. The fifth element was repeatability. All of the great brands that I spoke to said it's not good enough. If we create great experiences online or in stores, it's not good enough if that experience only executes 50% of the time or 60% of the time. They said it has to be perfect all the time. And how many of you have seen a Cirque du Soleil show? Quite a few of you have seen a Cirque du Soleil show. So if you went to see Cirque du Soleil, and after the performance, the cast came out and said, "We're sorry that the show wasn't very good tonight, but we were short-staffed." You know, you'd say, "What are you talking about, short-staffed? I expect to see a good show all the time." Well, that's the way great retailers feel too. They feel that their show should be like a Cirque du Soleil show, and that they should be excellent all the time. Because ultimately, they said, the point of our stores is not just to convert our customers into transactions. The purpose of our stores is to create converts for our brand. That's what our store will do. We'll create this amazing experience that makes people want to buy from us anywhere, across any channel, whether it's in-store or online. So true customer experience is being surprising, being unique, being personalized, being engaging, and being repeatable. And if you can be all of those things, you can take on Amazon. Amazon is not interested in doing any of those things. They just want the widest selection of products that will ship the fastest. And if you can do all of that, you will connect with this consumer. The millennial, the creature of myth and legend, the millennial consumer. Yes, they're very connected to technology, but millennials also love great experiences. I was talking recently with a fellow I know who is a retailer in Australia, and his name is Chris Kvitos, and he has a store called Sneaker Boy. in Australia. And that's what a Sneaker Boy store looks like. And I was talking to him, and he said he just opened this incredible store in Melbourne, and they had a really good response. So I was interested, and I was talking to him about that. Now, Sneaker Boy sells high-end sneakers. These are the brands that they sell. And they have a very, very unique-looking store. This does not look like your ordinary running shoe store. Very, very unique. They have one size of every running shoe in stock. And if you find what you want, they'll ship it to you. You can't take the shoes home with you. They get shipped to you. It's a very successful model. So I said to him, he said it had the store opening in Melbourne, and I said, can you send me some photos of the opening? That was his grand opening. They had thousands of people show up, right? So when you build a proposition that's unique, when it's remarkable, when it's personalized, when it's engaging, that's what can happen. And Amazon will not do that. Here's another angle of the same crowd. So that's what we're trying to do here. If we want to fight back against Amazon, we need to raise our game. So the big idea is we need to start innovating. And we need to start innovating really, really fast. We don't know how much time the Turkish market has before Amazon opens the floodgates and starts selling everything into the Turkish market. But use this time now to innovate. Start looking at your customer's journey. Map out the whole journey. Find out what that journey looks like and identify those moments of truth in the journey where you need to be surprising, engaging, remarkable, repeatable, etc. Find every single one of those moments, and that ultimately is what's going to make you stand out in the marketplace. And when you find those moments, you have to decide to do something different. Don't do what your competitors are doing. Don't do what Amazon is doing. Break the rules. Find new ways of doing things, new ideas. It'll take some experimentation. And when you find the great idea, you have to go first. Be the first. There's been a lot of study done on this, and they find that first movers in a category win. A first mover will enjoy up to a 30% increase in revenue, whereas someone who follows along cautiously might experience nil, zero. So don't be afraid to be the first. Be the first, and you'll be okay about 90% of the time. Every now and then it's not going to work out, but I guess I got to tell you, if you are going to win against Amazon, you're going to have to take some chances. You're going to have to experiment, and not all your experiments are going to work. But if they do, that means that you have a fighting chance against that giant. Just in closing, I just want to leave you with one idea, and this is the idea. People say, what does a futurist do? How do futurists predict the future? Well, really, futurists don't. And if anyone comes along and tells you that they can predict the future, be careful. Don't believe them. Because nobody truly can do that. But I don't think that's the point. In fact, I think we're all futurists. I think being a futurist means that you have a clear sense of what is happening now, today. And you're honest about that. And you're honest about the implications on your business. And based on that knowledge, what you do is you engineer the future you want. That's what true futurism is. You guys are all as visionary as Steve Jobs. You're all as futuristic as Bill Gates. You have that power within you. You just have to determine today that you're going to engineer the future you want. And your future starts right now. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.